And then OT updated the minister on the 7th of June 2024. This is right before the contracts were about to be renewed, saying it was close to finalising the reconciliation process and that providers had been sensitive to this process and had needed greater transparency. Odanga Tamariki said the process was resource intensive, and that this had delayed the 2024-25 contracting process, which is what broke the news, or what broke into the news. Then there was a reconciliation process. Some of them managed to rebut it. Right. The delays in completing the reconciliation process meant that the process began to overlap with discussions about contracts for the following, so 2024-25, July last year. Staff told us that reconciliation and discussing new or varied contracts with providers would usually have been separate processes. However, the process merged in 2024 because of the different approach to reconciliation, the time it took to receive the data needed for this, and difficulty agreeing with providers the amounts to be recovered. As a result, there was no clear air between the processes. This contributed to a lack of timely communication, delayed decision-making, and ultimately damaged relationships between Oranga Tamariki and providers. So, I don't know if I've got it through to you guys. And tell me if you got a different story from that. The fuck-ups were because of the budget cuts.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, as Craig Rennie likes to point out, where does the money come from? Where does the money come from? Comes out of money that was maybe promised and on the way to being given to women and their equity. Like, I actually know someone who was almost at the end of their equity claim. They had done so much work, and all of that has been just completely fucking wasted. Which, should we add this to the total amount that this government's wasting? Someone needs to start a debt calculator. Can y'all start a debt calculator on all of the borrowing and stealing they're doing from other areas to kind of add to their overall fiscal hole? Because it's getting pretty big.
So at the end of the day, is Karen Shaw correct? She appreciated the feedback, and the way Oranga Tamariki has historically overseen, communicated, and managed contracts was poor. I acknowledge this. It is something I have heard directly from providers across the country, both as minister and in opposition. Chahor said progress had been made since the period covered by the report. She outlined her challenge to Oranga Tamariki when she became minister to ensure it was putting the care and protection of young people above all else when it spent money entrusted to it by taxpayers. Did OT do that? Did they meet that obligation? Oh, you're muted. You're muted. You're muted. Muted.
Would it have mattered? If they needed to save the money somewhere, would it have mattered? Because it seems like they have to save a bunch of money, except for when it comes to the military, because if we need it, we'll find it. Fuck kids who are in state care and who are going through some horrific, life-altering things. But sure, just give money to landlords and military, and fuck them, I guess.